He is one of the most active and brave witnesses of the past. As a Holocaust survivor, he openly says in international media that there were no Polish death camps. Ladies and gentlemen, our today's guest, Edward Mosberg. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
But before we start the interview, let's see some shots of his actions. Mr. Mosberg, you're a Polish Jew and you lived already for 70 years abroad of Poland, but until today you managed to speak very good Polish. Do you feel still attached to Poland?
Well, I will tell you that somebody else from the government asked me, I don't want to mention the name, they asked me, how it is that I speak so well Polish. My answer was to him, before he was born, I said to that person, I spoke already Polish.
Absolutely. That's great and great to hear.
All my life, I speak constantly Polish. My wife is also born in Poland, in Krakow. And all my life, I spoke with her Polish. I speak to my children Polish. And I have a lot of friends Polish. And besides this, I come to Poland very often.
And you are again in Poland. How do you feel?
I feel very, very well when I come to Poland.
And you are always welcomed here in Poland.
Thank you.
Yes. And unfortunately, let's start with a sad topic. So could you tell us the story of your family?
Before the war, I had grandparents. I had the uncles, aunts, cousins, parents, and 2 sisters. And all of them were murdered by the German, in the German concentration camp and German extermination camps on the Polish grounds. Because we should never forget one thing. There's no such a thing like Polish extermination camp and Polish concentration camp. Everything is Germans.
It's good to say and good to remember. And you yourself, you were in a camp.
Yes.
Could you tell us a few things which you would like us to remember, the young generation, how the camp looked like?
Well, depends, each camp is different, okay?
Your camp, then?
First of all, I was in ghetto, okay? And then I was in concentration camp Plaszow. And then I went into Mauthausen in Austria. And then I was liberated on May 5th, 1945. I was liberated in Linz, a sub-camp of Mauthausen. Mauthausen had 47 sub-camps. And Mauthausen was a really camp that people were working on the stone mines, carrying the stone mines, 186 steps the whole day, from in the morning till in the evening. If you stop for a moment, they beat you, they shoot you, or they push you out from the mountains to your death. The mountain was the high point of the thing, of the quarry was about 50 meters. And many times they lined up the prisoners and told them, you push one in front of you to the death. And I am a witness to it. And they used to call this the Jewish parachute wall. because they used to push them off the mountains without the parachute.
Right now we don't even realize how awful those times were.
But the worst one, in my opinion, was another sub-camp of Mauthausen. That one, in my opinion, was the worst one, that all of them together. Because when they brought prisoners to Belzec, to Treblinka, they killed them right away and was over. Belzec camp, they were starving people to death. If somebody died in the night, the other prisoner cut him and they ate him. And this is, whatever I'm telling you, I have evidence to it.
I know the story. I've heard before, as you tell the story of one of your sisters, which was drowned in the sea.
Well, I tell you what happened with my whole family.
Yes.
16 members of my family, they were murdered in Belzec extermination camp.
Yes.
When I used to walk through that camp, now I could hear the cries of the people. Don't forget us. How can we forget the murders? And don't forgive, because we have no right to forgive. Only the dead can forgive. And my father was killed right in the beginning of the war. My mother was taken in June 1944. She was taken to Auschwitz, where she was murdered in the gas chamber number 5.
And your sisters?
My 2 sisters and a sister of my wife, they were in Stutovo. They lined up around 7,000 women alongside the Baltic Sea, and they shot them with the machine guns. And the next day was liberation.
So only one day, and they could be saved.
Yes. And I was in a camp in Linz, and on the last day, they said, the Germans, that the Americans are coming and they will be fighting, they want to save us. And they took us to the mountains. They had the big caves set up with the dynamite to blow us up, but I'm here. Didn't happen.
And you survived.
That's correct. If I tell you how many times I survived, you would not believe it.
Tell us how many then.
While I was in a concentration camp, when I got into Mauthausen, I had some, I don't know how to call this, wrzody, I don't know how you say this, is the pus coming out from my thing. So I figured it out, if I stay in the sun, this will blow it up more, and I will not have to go to work. So
You did it.
I did it, and I went to the hospital, and the doctor threw me out. He said, get out from here. I don't want to see you. The next day, whoever was in the hospital, they took him to the gas chambers. It happened twice to me.
So you're a very lucky man in a way.
Okay, and then in a camp, when I was liberated, I came to Krakow, back, okay, and I had tuberculosis of bones and lungs. And I went to a doctor, they said to me that they don't have any medication for it, and I have just a couple months to live. I'm here.
So you survived a lot.
Right. So I went to Italy. Actually, the American took me over there with the ambulance. I went to Cortina d'Ampezzo. It was a place for the tuberculosis of the bones. And then I went to Milan, another sanatorium there, for the lungs, and I got cured, and I came back to Poland, to Krakow.
Hopefully those stories never will be forgotten, though it's very hard to put them in words. so no more words needed. But thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.